Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler and this is Tech with Tyler. And today we're going to be talking about the HP Envy X360 laptop. This specific unit has an issue with cooling the SSD. The SSD has overheated and seems to work sometimes now. It's hit or miss. So we're going to be replacing that with a new SSD. We're going from 240 gigs to 500 gigs. And then while we're in there, we're going to replace the RAM because we're already in the machine and it's going to boost the performance a bit. We're going to go with 16 gigs total, where the previous installation was 8 gigs. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into the laptop. We're going to take it apart and then replace those pieces and show you that on the video. All right, so for the first step, you're gonna wanna make sure that you unscrew all these screws here underneath the rubber pads. To do so, you're gonna have to remove the rubber pads from the front and back to get to these screws. And these screws are Phillips head screws. And then you're gonna have one little screw at the bottom here, and that one is going to be a Torx bit. I believe it's a T6, but I could be wrong. It's a small Torx bit. But anyways, once you get those all removed, you can then work up the back cover. Now to open up the back cover, what I'm going to do is use a screwdriver like this one with some electrical tape to pad it. I'm going to take this at like the hinge area here and start prying up the back cover. Now this is a harder process, especially the first time you're doing it, but once you can pop out some of these clips, you can then kind of work around a little bit easier. Now it may take you some time to get it off, but once you get the clips off on one side, you're gonna just work your way around and kind of pry up to loosen the clips on the other side, and then the back cover will then just come off. So with the back cover off, we're gonna start by the safest play here, which is disconnecting the battery before we work on anything else. There are some screws around the outside of the battery that we're going to remove. And once those are removed, we'll be able to work on the laptop without worrying about causing any shocks. To remove the battery, it's a simple process. Kind of pull up and pull back, and it kind of comes out of those slots. There's some slots here on the battery that just line up with the pins over there. But anyways, we're gonna put that to the side. And then where the actual, if you're looking at the board, you're not gonna see the actual RAM and SSD because they are under this heat shield here. And the reason why is to kind of provide some cooling. So we're going to be working our tool under these clips here and just kind of be gentle but lift it up. So once this is all popped off, we'll be able to see our SSD as well as our RAM. And I'm kind of just going to stick it under and pry up. So I've worked my way around. The last one just comes up. And then you kind of lift it out and around. You can just rest it on the side for now, and that will reveal your RAM as well as your SSD. So now that we have that removed, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the RAM first. To remove the RAM, we kind of pull out on these metal notches, and that'll release the RAM, and then it will lift up, and then you can kind of pull it up and away this way out of the slot. Now to remove the SSD, there is a little Phillips screw here that will just undo, and what will happen is the way that these slots are designed, it will pop up, and in that case you can just pull it out gently and you have removed the SSD as well. Now that that's done, we'll work on adding our new RAM. We're going to be using both slots this time as well as our SSD. All right, so starting with the memory, we've got this 16 gigabyte kit. We're replacing 8 gigs, so this is going to double the RAM. Now, it's not going to matter which slot you go into first. The only thing that really matters is you match up that line on the RAM. If I bring this a little closer, there is this little slot here on the RAM. You're going to want to make sure that lines up with the notch on the motherboard, and in this case, it's over here. So one side is smaller than the other. In this case, it goes like this. So I'm going to start with this side, and what you're going to want to do is kind of put it in on an angle, make sure that it's all the way in, and then what will happen is once you get it kind of situated in all the way, you can press down on it and it'll clip into place just like the one we removed. Now for this one here, this one goes in the opposite way, I believe. So like so. Again, make sure it's in, make sure everything's out of the way, and then click it down and you should hear it click in. And once they're both clicked in and installed, your RAM is good to go. All right, onto the SSD. This is the Crucial P3 Plus 500 gigabyte SSD. And this one is actually double the storage of the previous drive, so we're kind of upgrading that as well. So to install this guy, we're going to actually do the opposite of what we did to take the other one out. You want to make sure that this notch here, I'll try to get this focused for you here. This notch here is aligns with the notch on the motherboard down here. So if you put it in on an angle and then press in, then you can kind of push it down and then secure the screw that you took off earlier. Press the SSD down again and snug it in. You don't want to over tighten this screw, just snug enough that it's not going to be moving. Now that that's done, we have installed both RAM and a new SSD. So now what we'll do is actually replace the heat shield, make sure that it fits around, and then clip it back into place. Just want to make sure you go around the edges, making sure all the clips are clicked in. And then now what we can do is reinstall the battery over here. Here's the battery, and the way you put it in is similar to the way you took it out. Basically on an angle, kind of match up your screw holes and your plugs, and just make sure that once you push it, it slides into place. All your screw holes align and your pins are connected firmly. Then what you're going to want to do is put back all the screws, make sure that your battery is secure. Once the screws are back in for the battery, we can then put the back panel back on. It clicks back into place, and it's just the reverse order of what we did earlier when we took it apart. And it was actually a T5 Torx bit. Now that that's done, we can move on to the software portion of the upgrade. We'll want to plug in a USB drive that's at least 8 gigabytes in size. We then want to navigate to our File Explorer and then right-click our USB drive and format it. Once the format is complete, we can navigate to the Create Installation Media for Windows page on Microsoft's website. I'll leave a link down in the description. We're going to choose Windows 11, and then we'll scroll down to the Media Creation tool, click the Download button, and then open the file once it's downloaded. Once that opens, we'll have to accept the terms and conditions. We'll select our language and edition preferences, choose the USB flash drive option, and then select our formatted USB device. It'll then begin to create the installation media and then notify you once it's done. If we look at our File Explorer again, you'll notice that our drive is now renamed to ESD-USB. Clicking that reveals all the files for Windows 11, and then the final step is to eject our drive in the lower right corner. Alright, so what you're going to want to do now is grab your laptop that you just upgraded. So now we're going to want to make sure we plug in our power adapter, make sure it's got power, and then we're going to take the device that we use to create the bootable USB and plug that in as well. We're then going to press the power button on the laptop. Once the computer turns on and you're greeted with the Windows screen, you can begin the installation process. We're going to be installing the English United States. Time and currency we can change to Canadian. If we search for Canada, so we'll do English Canada, click enter. Keyboard layout as US is fine, and then we'll click next. Then we're going to install. And this process may take some time, so I'll come back once it's done. To then be greeted with this software license, you have to accept the terms and then click next. We're going to do a custom install. And we'll notice that we have our new drive here because it's 465 gigs. This drive is the external drive that I use to install Windows, and then the bootable partition here. We're going to click this drive, which is our SSD, and then we're going to create a new partition. Make sure that it's the max and hit apply. Then we're going to hit OK. And now it's created the Windows specific partitions as well as the partition we will install it. So I'm going to just format that quickly, make sure that it is okay. Once it's formatted, I'll click next on that drive that is our SSD. Windows will begin the installation process, and I will get back to you once this is done. You may actually notice that it will reboot on its own once the installation is complete, and it might reboot multiple times. Okay, so now it's booted back into the Windows installation process. We can go through this and just select our settings that we want to install Windows with. We're going to use the US keyboard just because that's the standard here. We're not going to add a second keyboard layout. We're going to connect to Wi-Fi. You'll then want to name your device. After renaming, it's going to continue the setup process. It's going to ask you to sign in to your Microsoft account. So after you log in, you might see your profile picture on the left, and then everything will kind of load in from your Microsoft account if you had one before. You can choose to set it up as a new PC or restore it from the old PC. We're going to go ahead and restore the old PC and get that installed. Once that's done, you'll be asked to create a PIN. I'm going to go ahead and put one in. Then you can go through the rest of the settings and set up the rest of the Windows 11 preferences. So it's saying this might take a few minutes. I'm going to come back once the installation is done and we're in the desktop. And now that that process is finished, we are now loaded into the desktop and we have successfully installed our new hardware as well as Windows 11. To check our hardware was installed correctly, we can check in the About This PC section. If we click that, it should show us our 16 gigabytes of RAM. Our SSD is working obviously because that's the only drive that's in the computer, and we have successfully installed Windows. Another thing you're going to want to do is make sure all your Windows updates get done. There are some specific updates in here for HP itself, so it's important to get these all done to make sure everything's functioning with the laptop itself. And then afterwards, if you want to download drivers and install those manually, through the device manager, you can do so as well. Thanks for watching my video on the X360 laptop upgrade. If you've had any issue like mine in the past, I hope this would help you in that scenario. And also, if you did like the video, I hope you leave a like down below, because that really helps me out. And also, if you're not subscribed already, because majority of you aren't, please hit that subscribe button, because I got a lot of content coming your way and I know you're gonna love it. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video, and you have yourself a wonderful day.